What's up guys, it's Jerico Spiderwolf back for another 7 Deadly Sins Origin video. So today we're going to be going over a brand new server that got released in the game and a brand new devnote. Before we get started though, I'd really appreciate it because you can drop me a like, comment, subscribe, it would really help me out trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But with that being said, let's get right into this. So, we got a brand new devnote, we got a survey. Real quick as well, in game, if you go in the game right now with the survey, we are getting a free 10 roll. We're getting 3,000 currency, which is really cool. We'll probably do the survey at the end, towards the end of the video, but for the beginning part of the video, we're going to be going over the dev notes here. So what's like new, right? So greetings, Guardians. This is PDQ of 70th Origins. Since introducing the game on PS5 and Steam, we have now completed the global launch across all platforms, including mobile. Because was it like Monday of like, or was it Monday or I don't know, a couple days ago? Monday, a couple days ago. Mobile finally, had the grand launch, which wasn't really like grand to be honest, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. From the early stages of development, we have set out to deliver cross-platform experience that allows players to enjoy some of this Origin seamlessly across, PS5, PC, and mobile, which was by no means easy. And then they're grateful that the game was able to be in the top 10 in global rankings for Steam. And that even after the mobile version, many new players continue to join, I'm assuming through PC as well. Then thanks to continued interest and support, since we also hit #1 ranking in mobile in different countries around the world, including US, JP, and Korea, which is pretty cool. And then because of this, that's why we got a free multi, free 3,000 of summon currency, which is pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. And then if we are given the opportunity to share more joyful moments with you in the future, we will do our best to cherish their meaning and share them together. I'm guessing maybe this means that if we hit future milestones, maybe even during like special like celebrations, maybe like Dokkan or something, like hitting top ranking during like an anniversary or something, maybe we'll get a bonus multi as well, which would be pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Especially for a game like this, to be able to give out free pulls like that would be cool. Otherwise, it might be like Wuwa and Hoyoverse, where like if they get nominated for like Game of the Year or not Game of the Year, but like Mobile Game of the Year or stuff like that, then maybe we'll see free multis from that, or like one free multi. And then we've seen many players continue their journey on Steam platform and spending more time exploring the game. In particular, we have observed that players who engage more deeply with the game are sharing positive impressions of the overall experience. Because yeah, I do agree. The game is, I'll be honest with you guys, is actually pretty fun. I actually have a pretty good time with the game. I think it's a really fun game, and it's a bit buggy, but they've been working towards fixing those bugs. But for the most part, I think it's a pretty fun game. And I will agree that yeah, if you do kind of keep up with it a little bit more, you'll find some pretty good enjoyment out of it, in my opinion. And the time you spend exploring Britannia, enjoying its various content, is a great source of encouragement for our development team, and we are carefully reviewing all the feedback you share with us. At the same time, we are aware that some players have experienced inconvenience during gameplay due to various issues and bugs, which is the main issue at the moment, including early stages of the launch. And we are making sure to carefully review all these issues, but also concerns and feedback you have shared with us. Our development team has been prioritizing issues that can be addressed in the near term, and is working towards implementing improvements as quickly as possible with the goal of providing a more stable, enjoyable gameplay experience so that more Star Guardians can enjoy the game and share positive impressions. Also, one thing I want to throw on this as well is that I've heard that all of the issues also on PS5 has been when you go into the settings or the map, the PS5 will overload and overheat, which is pretty bad, right? For my PC, it does also have a bit of an overheating issue. Lately, it's been kind of okay when playing the game, but like specifically through cutscenes, it'll like get really, really hot. Could also be because of my settings, but like at the same time, I feel like the game can be a lot more optimized, but at the same time, it is also Unreal Engine 5, so that's kind of why those issues are kind of prevalent, to be honest. And then right now, let's say they're going to briefly introduce some improvements that are going to be currently prepared. So, addition of endgame content, because there isn't technically endgame content unless you want to consider like hell mode with like gear farming and like the final boss dragon as your endgame content, because that's currently the only endgame content I can really think of other than like basically building up your gear. So we have seen many players reaching world level 4 and gradually playing hell difficulty content. I'm not there yet. In response, our development team is preparing new endgame content that will provide a new objective for those who are strengthening their heroes through hell difficulty, which is always good. Definitely always a good, very good to see that they are implementing endgame content this quickly, especially because the main money makers like the whales they're getting close to like basically not having too much content to do left, so it's good that there's going to be this content for them. And then of course for us, you know, who have been grinding the game or new, you know, we'll slowly catch up to that difficulty and all that, right? So this content is planned to take the form of clearing multiple floors based on various combat rules. Okay, so it's literally just Abyss from like Genshin or whatever. Okay, with the goal of delivering a challenging experience appropriate for higher difficulty levels. In addition, we're preparing rewards that are typically difficult to obtain through regular gameplay. Okay, so it sounds like we're just getting the Abyss or towers that like the Genshin has, Wuwa has, where it's literally like, oh, there's 10 floors and you beat them and then you get like summons, and like it resets like every 2 weeks or however long, right? But I mean, it's fine. It's basically like another way to get more summons, so it's not like it's a bad thing, right? It's just a little bit funny, right? To me. Of course, I mean, it's not a bad idea anyways, right? I think it's a pretty good system for the most part. Of course, in addition to this endgame content, we're continuing our preparations to introduce new stories, regions, boss, challenge content through future updates, and we kindly ask for your continued interest and support. That's cool. Some more story, new areas to explore, and then more bosses to grind for different resources and probably essential materials and all that good stuff, right? I do want to quickly go back to this though. So they do mention the whole tower system, right? But then they're also mentioning that there's going to be extra rewards for that are typically difficult to obtain through regular gameplay. So maybe they're gonna like throw in more difficulties for overworld bosses or like special bosses maybe, and then those are gonna give you like special rewards besides the tower. So two different, basically they're just confirming there's gonna be two different ways of like, or two different forms of this end game content. One through tower, and then one through more difficult enemies through like regular gameplay. QOL, okay. Hopefully we get some good stuff here, because honestly, there's a couple QOL things I would love for this game to have. So, in the 7 days origin, gathering and obtaining materials required for crafting across various regions is an important part of the gameplay experience. As a process for searching for and tracking materials needed for equipment, enchantment, and potion crafting is essential, we have also identified a significant amount of feedback regarding the inconvenience experienced during this process. In addition, we are carefully reviewing the various quality of life or QL improvements commonly suggested by our players, alongside improvements to gathering convenience mentioned above. We are working towards to prioritize and implement changes to areas within the system that require further refinement. We will share more detailed information on these improvements through future updates, so they're basically just still figuring out how they want to go about it. And then addition of engraved equipment store preview. To reduce the burden of decision making during equipment process and allow for more intuitive choices, we're preparing a feature that allows players to preview the stats gained when engraving equipment in advance. Improvements to visibility affected by combat effects. We've identified feedback that it can be difficult to clearly recognize combat situations when multiple skill effects occur simultaneously during party play. That is true. Sometimes it is really hard to tell when the boss is attacking or what the boss is doing. If there's so many like SFX in your face, that's like, okay, I can't even see what's going on really, right? So that's pretty good. In response, we're preparing a feature that allows players to disable the skill effect during combat to helping improve overall visibility. Through this, we aim to make combat situations easier to recognize and clear. I feel like it'd also be cool if there's an option to maybe like lower the visibility or like lower the opacity or how you want to say it. Like basically making it to where you can maybe like have like a slider to make like skill effects be a little bit more like see-through or like less see-through. I think something else like that would be kind of cool as well, but this is like a for the moment pretty good fix. Improvements to issues related to summoning pets. We have identified certain situations where summoning pets may not appear properly or may be dismissed unexpectedly during exploration. Summoning pets are designed to provide convenience, like auto collect, mining, gathering, and all that good stuff. So they're just saying they're going to work to resolve this issue pretty much, make them like be a little bit better. Improvements outlined above are based on feedback and the convenience experienced by players during actual combat or gameplay, and then they're going to continue to fix it, yada yada yada. Let's see, did I miss anything? No, they're just saying sorry for the pets not working like super duper well, and they're just gonna be more stable for the most part, be more seamless when you explore. I will say it would be kind of nice if some pets were kind of like out, like if you had like the gathering pet and like you're on a mobility pet, it would be kind of nice if they were out at the same time, and then like while you're running around they'll just auto collect around. I think that'd be kind of cool if that was a thing. And then of course we have the survey. We'll take care of the survey here. Is there 2 surveys? Because they mentioned go to survey here, and then there's another one for the grand launch. As mentioned earlier, thanks to your interest, we're able to what was it, reach rank number 1 for mobile and PC. And then thanks to you once again for understanding our frequent understanding regarding the frequent maintenance that has been unavailable in recent days. We'll continue to do our utmost to provide more stable gameplay as quickly as possible, and then they'll continue to listen to feedback. All right, so nothing too crazy. Basically just saying, hey, we're getting endgame content through tower floors. We're getting a free 10 roll, which is already in game, and then we're just getting some kill well in the future for gathering and like crafting, so like mining and all that stuff. They're gonna work on trying to make that better and easier for players, more convenient. But then what we're going to be getting more sooner is going to be great equipment previews, being able to turn off SFX for skills so it's easier to see, and then fixing pets so they're more reliable. So nothing too crazy for the fixes here. I think the biggest thing is just the endgame mode content's kind of cool for more summons, and then I guess the visibility thing to turn off SFX. Because the greatest preview is kind of cool, I guess, but I don't think it's that like crazy. I don't know, because I mean eventually they're gonna build it anyway, so there's some good stuff here. Not saying like any of this is bad, it's all pretty good. It's just like nothing like super crazy that's like, oh my gosh, you know, finally really good QL or whatever. But I think for the most part it's fine. Anyways, the rest of this video is just gonna be for the survey, so if you guys want to join me on that, you know, we'll be taking a look at this together here. Otherwise you guys can hop on out. All right, let's see. Yada yada yada. Okay. Oh, Meliodias. Okay, I gotta I didn't make this too easy, huh? Gonna do a little bit because in some servers there's like it's kind of in game, but some of these other servers for some of these other gacha games got the there's like the old method where you have to actually like get your UID from the actual game, and then, you know, because it's like a separate page. That's fine. US playing on PC mainly. Can you do multiple? Oh, you can. Okay. Well, I'm only really using. Oh, I see. So PC, and then yeah, keyboard and mouse. Art control is actually kind of fun, but I like using the keyboard a bit more. I play for more than 6 days, I'd say. More like 2 to 5 actually, because I did miss a couple days, so I'll do like 2 to 5 days. I've heard about it through, I don't know, Twitter, I guess. Before the release of the game, I got it through, I mean, YouTube technically. What are the main reasons you decided to play? I don't know. I guess I'm interested in some of these are IP. How well did you know about the IP before playing? I know pretty well, for the most part. I guess I had some influence, nothing too crazy. The game just looked pretty nice. Have you played? I'm currently playing it. It's like the game genres you usually enjoy playing. It's a good one actually. I'm not too sure. I guess maybe adventure games a little bit. What is your overall satisfaction with this game right now? I'd say it's fun, but it definitely needs more optimization. So I'd say maybe a maybe a 4. Let's see, it goes up to 6, so I think a 4. I think a 4 is fair. 3 to 4 I think would be fair. What do you like about the game? To be honest, I didn't really pay that much attention to the story. I kind of skipped it all the time, so I'm not too crazy about the story, but it's more so because I just want to like grind as fast as possible. Characters look fine. Music isn't like super crazy to me. I haven't tried that with the multiplayer yet. So I'd say the combat's kind of fun. It's not like crazy combat, but it's kind of fun. What is the biggest reason you want to continue playing? I just want to progress my account more and collect more characters. What content are you enjoying the most? Let's see. I think boss challenges are kind of fun. That's been kind of fun. What have you been dissatisfied with while playing the game? Let's see. Out of all of these, I'd say performance. Performance is probably the biggest one that I'm currently the most dissatisfied with, to be honest. Like I feel like it can be running a bit better. And then for the most part, everything else is like somewhat okay. Would be nice if like gathering and like chests and all that were like a little bit more easier, but yeah, okay. Where's the most challenging part of your gameplay experience? No, not that. Maybe, let's see, unsure. No, farming. I guess the farming one. I guess. Oh, and then I'll go performance. But my secondary thing would be farming for currency. It does take a bit of time. It's not as bad as like Genshin, but like it could still be a little bit better. Like the requirements, you know, like could be like lower the amounts, like the amount of resources you need to like, you know, get stuff. I feel it could be a little bit less. But I say for the most part, performance is like the main biggest issue at the moment with the game. Controls are uncomfortable, hard to get used to. No, they're fine for the most part. I'd say I'd put it like at a 3 because it's like it's not a bad game, it's fun, but it still needs to be more optimized than like it's more of like, do you like 7DS? If you are, and are you interested in 7DS? Otherwise, if you're not interested in 7DS, then I don't want to think, you know, you need to go out of your way to play this game. Is how I kind of look at it. Any additional comments or suggestions? Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. Let me think for a bit and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got down my ideas that I could think of at the moment as to like what I kind of had issues with the game currently and what I think would be cool if they were to be included or fixed. So my first thing here is full health after dying or starting a boss / dungeon, and having the Book of Stars ability, like the rewind or the moving blocks or whatever, or like the cleanse, to be fully charged up. So basically, I kind of don't like how whenever you die, you come back with half of your HP, whether it's in the overworld or whether it's when you're doing a boss or a dungeon. I don't like that personally. And at the same time, I think it'd be cool that like maybe if you had low HP and then you go into one of the boss or dungeon fight, right? It's not gonna fully heal you up and stuff like that. I think that would be nice if if like your HP would be fully capped out and healed, so you don't have to like go back to the statue to heal yourself up again. I think that would be fair. The orbs for your ultimate, I think that's kind of 50-50 as to whether or not it'd be okay. It would make grinding a lot easier and faster if they did that. If you were to do that, because then for some content, you could literally just rush straight to the boss. If all your orbs are already charged up, then you could do like a big burst immediately, which would be nice, and maybe in some cases even one-shot the boss. So that could be nice too for grinding, so that would be cool as well. Actually, you know what? I think I might add that in. I think I might add that in as well. Where is it? I'll shove it in over here. Starting boss / dungeons with fully charged, I forgot they're called, fully charged orbs for ultimates. I think that would be pretty cool too. That one is kind of 50-50 though, but I think it'd be nice, especially so you can grind a little bit quicker. My next thing here is of course optimization to reduce overheating. My next issue is fixing issues with inputs not being registered. Like sometimes whenever you try to dodge or move in a direction, sometimes it doesn't register it and then you get screwed over and then the game bugs out, so that's annoying. And then my last thing here is reducing the materials needed for crafting and then for leveling up characters. I'd say maybe a little bit more towards crafting would be nice, but for characters I can understand if they maybe don't want to like reduce it that much. But I think for crafting would be kind of cool as well, specifically going over like potions or stuff like that, right? It'd be kind of cool if the cost was like a little bit lower, but it's not like the biggest issue, right? It's just kind of like something that would be cool if it was there, but not my biggest thing. My biggest thing though for sure would be at least having full HP whenever you start a boss or dungeon, or after you die, and then it would be cool if the Star Powers thing was also fully charged. That would be nice. And then as well just for fixing issues with optimization, and then also like dodging and any movements like not working for the most part. But yeah, that's mainly my thing. I don't know if you guys want to copy it or paste it or whatever, get something similar, or you know, just put whatever you guys want. But that's what I'm going to be putting here for mine. But yeah, that should do it. And then after you do this, if you go back to the game, you should be getting some juicy 300 some currency, if I remember correctly. Let's see. It might take a little while. I think they said that you get 300 summon currency after you do the survey, but I'm not sure. Alright. But anyways, hope this video helps you guys out. Let you guys know about all the the news that's coming up for the dev notes and all that. And what I put for the survey. But with that being said, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.